It's pretty rare for Nintendo to share with us exactly how they work on their games, but thankfully due to a new interview with one of the developers of Animal Crossing New Horizons, we have some insights into how they work on the game. This interview was shared only a few days ago on Nintendo's official recruitment site, and then also shared by Nintendo Everything. So let's take a look at exactly what has been revealed. This interview was with Ami Takai, who worked on object design in Animal Crossing New Horizons, specifically the furniture that we all know and love, which is an incredibly important part of the game. We can't forget that including variations, we saw over 9,000 new furniture items in the 2.0 update. The general gist of the interview is that Ami Takai basically explains how they worked on the furniture in Animal Crossing New Horizons, giving us an insight into just how much hard work went into making the furniture for Animal Crossing New Horizons and how much detail was required to make it look good. Focusing on some of the most interesting points in the interview, Ami Takai says that as a lead furniture designer on Animal Crossing New Horizons, I had to work to create hundreds of kinds of furniture that would work well in high resolution on the Nintendo Switch screen. Creating a high resolution furniture takes a lot of time and effort, and we coordinated our efforts with more people than ever before in the series' history, including a contract company to help with modeling. Now, this specific quote in the interview is really important as it shows just how much work and time went into Animal Crossing New Horizons, especially when you consider that they had to hire a contract company to help with the modeling for however many items they added to the game. It's a pretty big deal to come out and say that they worked with more people than ever before in the series' entire history, especially when a lot of people consider that maybe Animal Crossing New Horizons didn't have as much content as past games did. Despite that, it clearly does prove that New Horizons had a ton of time and effort put into it, perhaps more than ever before, despite the fact that some things were still missing. In this section of the interview, they mentioned that it was really important for the items to have lots of really cool little details, but not to make them feel too realistic so that it would still fit into the style of the game world. It seems like they put a lot of effort into making this really clear to the contract company as well, that so someone from outside of Nintendo wouldn't have come in and created items that didn't really fit into the game, which I personally think is really cool. It would have definitely been a mistake if they had other sources create items for the game, but they didn't really match well with Animal Crossing New Horizons, especially since everything has its own specific style. Animal Crossing as a series has its own really unique and special art style, which we've come to know and love throughout the years. Another really good part of this interview is that they mentioned there were many times that the design staff for these items would talk together working on a single item just to make sure that it was perfect. They used lots of different references, materials, and images to make sure that it was just right, and this really shows just how much care was put into Animal Crossing New Horizons. This has always been obvious in my opinion. Animal Crossing New Horizons looks absolutely amazing, but it's really interesting to learn just how much painstaking effort they put into making sure that all of these items were perfect for us. Ami Takai also mentions that the contract company put just as much time and love into these items as well, and came up with some really interesting concepts that we can actually see in the game currently. It definitely seems like we can thank the decision of them bringing in a contract company to work on the items as well for us getting so many items in the game in the end. With how much time and effort they put into just a single item, this may explain why that for a while we only got a few seasonal items during updates in 2021. There's a lot more details to this interview that I highly recommend you check out, but this is basically the gist of it. I think it's super cool to get some insights into how they worked on Animal Crossing New Horizons, and it may give people more appreciation for just how much love went into this game. They definitely know what they're doing when it comes to the series, and I'm excited to see what they do with it in the future. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this interview, any interesting little tidbits that you noticed. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications for more Animal Crossing videos. If you made it to the end, then be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know that you did. I want to say thank you to these channel members for supporting me and the content that I make here. Their contributions allow me to keep making videos. If you want to support these videos and get some great perks for doing so, like access to our members only Discord, exclusive Bob emojis and live streams, and much more, then click the join button down below the video or the link in the description.